Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the breakdown of the 13th EPW Evolution 2014. I'm the voice of EPW, Dean Olsen. Joining me, the All-Star, Brad West.
That's correct. Professional wrestling's kind of like the mafia. You can never actually get out completely.
So true. Great show tonight. We'll let the vision speak for itself. We started off with a match between McMassive versus Jay Taylor and Troy Bridges. From the get-go, Jay Taylor was distracted by the visiting Siren Monroe, who came back to Western Australia, and in the end, he paid for it. She nailed him with a spine buster.
Which meant McMassive went on to pick up another victory.
The winning ways of McMassive do continue. Next up, in his first ever EPW singles match, we saw the plus-size party animal Sam Fantastic go up against Eddie Bombay.
And didn't the fans get a treat? Everyone jumping up and down, waving the glow sticks. It was awesome.
And then when the bell rung, it was all action. Sam Fantastic picked up the win, his very first singles victory here in EPW. Next up, we saw a huge match at Evolution, a match that was nearly 12 months in the making. The Solution versus the new generation of explosive pro wrestling. It was the Messiah Davis Storm with Warship and Richter up against Team Red Can, Coach Banks and Husey and Hayden Zenith. This match was huge. The atmosphere was electric and the action was off the chart.
Surprise, the underdogs, the new generation, went over in this match and then afterwards celebrating with the fans in the drinking section.
As I got in the ring to announce the next matchup, the Dropkicks came out and had plenty to say. They said they were no longer going to be treated as a laughingstock, and they were no joke. And they talked a lot of trash about all the tag teams in Explosive Pro Wrestling. Before they finished what they were going to say, TMDK got in the ring and we ended up with an impromptu tag team title matchup. After they got the pinfall victory and retained their tag team titles, TMDK covered the Dropkicks with the TMDK banner and got a bunch of TMDK fans to celebrate in the ring with them. This can't have been a good moment in the career of the Dropkicks. In a match that's been building for quite some time, we finally saw it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Moore against Damien Slater. This time, he actually showed up from South Australia because the clause in the contract said if he didn't show, he'll be banned for life from EPW. Both men bound together by the leather. It was a leather strap match, and I'll tell you what, Brad, it was amazing.
Didn't we see some insanely vicious shots in this matchup? Let's just let the footage speak for itself. The nice guy, Dan Moore, managed to get Damien Slater to say the words, "I quit." He was victorious in the matchup and now surely cementing himself a place in the EPW title picture. Next up, we saw the next match in Alex Kingston's Gauntlet to Greatness. You know by now what he needs to do, and you know what he's up against. Tonight, he was up against Jamie Duran, what might be considered quite an upset. I don't think anyone thought the match would be over so quickly.
I only have one thing to say. Either Jamie Jura was very off or Alex Kingston was very on.
In the end, another name was crossed off the skateboard. We then saw the next installment of the Don Michael Morleone's $3,000 Hardcore Challenge, giving you, the EPW fans, a shot at winning the EPW Hardcore title, as well as $3 grand. This time he had 2 chairs in the ring, 3 audience members. We saw a game of musical chairs.
Yeah, it is a bit weird, but what I don't understand is how the fans can actually think this is a good idea. Like, he covers it up and makes it look like it's a big sort of fun game, but this guy is a professional athlete. These fans do not want to get in the ring with him, no matter how enticing the Don makes it look.
And even then, belt shot, match over, 1, 2, 3. It was over before it began.
You got kids on your back!
Then it was finally time for your EPW Evolution 2014 main event. A match that's been brewing for quite some time since reawakening last year. It was the Smashing Machine, Chris Weiss, defending his EPW Championship against the behemoth Sebastian Sander.
We expected to see an Evolution main event, a hard-fought main event, but we did not expect to see things go down the way they did. Refs being knocked down, Amber being knocked down, and a very controversial finish.
After referee Matt Smarkson taking a Death Valley driver from Sebastian Sander, referee Giles O'Brien got in the ring to officiate. And then we saw one referee call the match a disqualification, while the other count the 1, 2, 3. The end result was a no contest. Then after that, an all-out brawl happened. The EPW locker room emptied, and it was chaos and carnage all over the place. And then when the chaos was at fever pitch, Chris Weiss laid out a challenge to Sebastian Sander. They have unfinished business, and it's going to go down at EPW's Hell or High Water. A no-holes-barred street fight. We will finally see a winner between Sebastian Sander and Chris Weiss for the EPW Championship. It all goes down at Cyril Jackson Rec Center, Body Slam Central on July the 5th. EPW's Hell or High Water. You know. I know.
The most dangerous event in explosive pro wrestling history is Hell or High Water, year after year, Dean Olsen.
The history speaks for itself. We're going to see the next chapter of it, July 5th. Cyril Jackson Rec Center, EPW Hell or High Water. We want to see you there.